Hi guys, today we are going to create web services from the entities we created. So let me share my screen. Okay, so we have these entities. Now we are going to create the web service. Okay, for the web service, we must have since this is a Spring Boot, um, let me have let me discuss the dependencies with you because this is important. Okay. Uh, this working with JPA, connecting with JPA directly, you need these dependencies. Okay. And of course, for create handling web requests, you need this. And also, you need this as to provide the web service, expose the web services from the entity and its repositories directly. So these three dependencies are important. Okay, next is I'm going to create package repository. Yes, repositories. Okay, so I've got these repositories. Now what I intend to do, now I'm going to create interfaces which extends JPA repository interface, because the fun thing is the implementation is done by Spring itself. Okay, so we have this object, you have this package. Now I'm going to create the relevant. Each there would be you have got these four entities, there would be four repositories. So let's start. I have to cancel because so that I can copy the name. Then I do simply interface. Repositories is there. Category JPA repository. Then I will do JPA repository interface and a copy, and this is going to be int. Okay, small thing. This why I said integer. This is because it corresponds to the data type of the primary key. For category, it's int. I am using a wrapper class integer. Integer and int, you can assign it to itself to each other between themselves, because they have this facility of auto boxing and unboxing. Okay, it's a Java fundamentals. So you can use the wrapper class instead of the primitive type. So I've kept it as like this. Okay, now you can see it's marked as red because you have to do the import. Do control shift O. So when I do control shift O, basically the two suggestion comes. This is my category we are talking about. So I just do a finish. Okay, and I do control save. Okay, you see the this red mark goes. Now I'm going to do same for the other types, other things. I will copy the object name, new interface, this JPA JPA repository. JP repository, then I add this thing and I do this and integer and I do finish. Okay, again Control Shift O, it will come directly because there is no other change types anywhere. Next, I will go for the task. Only in case of conflict, you will get those suggestion pop up. So new interface, this task JPA repository. Repository, add this thing. Okay, then I do this integer. Okay, okay. Next is okay. Next is task change note. We'll see. Okay. Why is this? Control Shift O. Okay, there's a conflict. Okay, Spring Framework. This is like this for Spring Batch. Okay, this is a custom one. There's a conflict, so there's a pop-up. I just select the relevant one and save. It's gone. Now I'm going to create interface for task change note JPA repository. Okay, JPA repository. Okay, and the data type is control V, and this is integer. Okay, finish. Now I'll do control O. You see it comes. Okay, so now I've got the DTO. By the way, where is this got created? Let me refresh. Yeah, now it is proper. Okay, now it has come over here, right? Okay, now what I'm going to do is like few things. You have got the JP repository. Now my target over here is generate web services from the entities and display them to you. Okay, so for that I will use like um, @ repository annotation. Okay, this is one thing. This marks this notifies or this marks the class so that the Spring Framework understand that this is a repository as a I mean, and it is going to be implemented as a repository. It will connect to the database and create the relevant objects looking at the entities. Okay, so and I will just add another something, rest controller. Rest controller. What this does, this is the magic annotation. This is a magic annotation that um, creates the web services for categories. We will see later on. Let me copy these two annotations to the other repositories. Okay, save. Control V and save. Control V and Control S, save. So the annotations are done. Now let me tell you, I will add one single controller to like to handle the request to the root. Okay, so I will create a controller class. Keeper dot controllers. Okay, what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to create a Spring MVC controller just to handle the REST request. Sorry, um, just a root request. Okay, uh, main con main controller. Nothing much, just a simple one. Okay, you have got this main. Okay, what I'm going to do? Okay, so when I'm saying this, this will be taken up by the Spring Framework as a controller. Okay, so what I'm going to do is public, because this must be exposed, then string. I will just return a string. Get okay, handle root request. Okay, and I don't expect anything, and I will just simple C return, sorry, up and series up and waiting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just output will return just a string. Okay, now how do I make sure this like this handles the root request? Simple annotation. get mapping, get mapping. And then what get mapping, you can like call any web service what get mapping specifies this. I do this, so basically it will um, handle requests to the root only, not everything, only get requests to the root. Okay, so let's start this now. Like, we have this setup and everything. Man, I really love the power of Spring Boot. Okay, what my aim is to do is to create my own softwares. I mean, I don't know, it's going to be simple, small, but let's see what I can do. Okay, so this is the main application. You can see that the public static void main is this one. Okay, Java application. This is simply Java application that contains a web service. Okay, this is asking me to as change the console buffer size. Remind me later. Okay, you have got the console over here. You can see it's running properly. This problems, I'll just pull it out here. Okay, I can see the full thing. Okay, it started without errors. That's the first thing. Now, small thing is Tomcat started. You can see there's a Tomcat involved simply because Spring handled these things. Okay, one small thing I would say, if you go to the POM, you go to see this dependency. I've added these dependencies. Go to the dependence hierarchy. This is where you will find this big story what Spring Boot does. So many jars. Hikari, you can see Tomcat starter, beans, starter JDBC, JDBC is calm, hibernate stuff. See this, these all jars in one shot. Okay, Jakarta, SLF4J, those things, automatic logging related jars, Spring related jars. Okay, see Tomcat. It has embedded a Tomcat server. Okay, so you can expose web services. You can put in. You can use it as a Tomcat server. Simple. So this is why I like Spring Boot. Okay. By the way, let's continue. Let's not digress. So now I'm going to see how it works. Now Tomcat has started on 8080. Now what I'm going to do is localhost 8080. I have used an incognito window or a private window because it prevents caching. Okay, uh, prevents caching, and if the caching is not there, then what happens, the benefit is I'll be able to see any new changes that I use. Okay, now localhost 8080. Oh, okay, why is this happening? Let me see. Resource allocation service up and window was not loaded. Okay, one small thing I have done. Path. Okay, I think this is the thing. Okay, okay. So guys, so the server is now started. Now I run this. You see, there is an error, of course, but what did we go? I mean, what mistake did we do? Simple story. We have to have this one because this is a REST controller. Okay, I do normal controllers. what happens, it needs, I mean, it will not give you the web service. Okay, of course this is not web service, I'm returning just a string. Okay, but REST controller handles a lot of things within. So I think this is the fastest way of doing things. So I this is what I've done. I will just save it. Okay, then I will stop and I will restart this. Let's wait it for it to start. Okay, now let's try again. Now I will do this. Server is up and waiting. Okay, now when this is done, what our intention was to check the database categories and stuff, categories of the web service, these entities. So how do I do that? So just to tell you, there's a convention. I've got category, then it will become C small and plural form. Okay, so I will do, let's say, categories. Should it work? See, the plural form. Okay, okay. So there are, you can see there are already two datas. Okay, so it what it does is, you can see page. Sorry, it has one data. It's a total element one, and links to the, it links. You can see it shows the data. Okay, you can see this category is an array. Okay, so each array has a category code, description, category name, and a link. So basically, if we do category two, it will just go and display these things. Let us do this in a separate window. You can see this is how the rest thing works, especially in Spring Boot. Okay, so now what we can do is, now we would like to do insert, update, delete, right? So I will show that. For that, you need a utility to call these REST APIs. So for that, what I use Postman. I have Postman. Sorry, you have to do it on the normal window then. Postman Chrome, Postman Chrome. I have Postman launch app. Okay, this things of distorting space time continuum. Okay, uh, download. No, I will. Okay, you can see these are my testing. Okay, post, delete, and get. Okay, so um, as we have discussed, let's test this. Get. Okay, small thing. What did I show? Post, delete, and get, and there's one more, put. Okay, using REST APIs. Using REST APIs, these HTTP methods, these are HTTP methods, get, post, put, and delete. These are HTTP methods. These corresponds to, I mean, these are by conventions again. These corresponds to the different operations on the database. Get is a read operation. You do a get operation on the REST repository, automatically you are doing a read operation. If you do a post, then automatically it's an insert operation. If you do a delete, it is automatically a delete operation, and for put, it is automatically an update operation. Now these are like playing by convention, and Spring Boot is based on conventions. If you follow conventions, you will just will be able to do everything with Spring Boot. Okay, because you know a lot without knowing. You know a lot without discussing, because you know the conventions. Conventions are unspoken rules. that people follow. And if, since the product Spring follows, if you follow Spring Boot, Spring will listen to you, otherwise not. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, you can see these things. Okay, so this. Okay, now let's do an insert. Okay, you can see this category. I have this insert. Okay, headers one thing. Remember, content type application JSON you have to put. And okay, you can see the URL does not change. The main URL does not change for a post operation, or which corresponds to the insert operation. So I'll just change the data, because this data, sorry, so not this one. Okay, I will change this data because this data is already there. I will do test category 2 and default category 2. Okay, so okay, remember form data I have used raw out here and JSON applicate. Now what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do send, this data is going to get inserted. Okay, so basically I have this. Now I'm going to execute this. I do an insert. Okay, if things goes well, then you will get it like this thing. You've got the input, and you've got the link to the whatever you have created. Okay, you can see it's link 3. This index, it comes with the index. So basically, if you try to hit this as a request, as let's say get request, I do this, and it only gives you the data of 3, ID 3. This is the ID, direct internal ID. Okay, so this is how it works. Now what I intend to do is I'm going to delete. This is delete category 1. There you know there is no data with ID 1. Why? Because during when I was seeing all categories, you can see only ID with 2, not 1. Okay, and you can see there's only one data. So still, I will make it fail. My intention is to make it fail, so I'm giving a wrong ID. Okay, I do this, and what happens? We get nothing, content length, nothing happens. No body. Okay, so let's do a get again. No change. Okay, you can see the 3 is inserted. The 2 is already there. Now I'm going to do the 2 change in 2. Okay, I am going to delete. This is a delete operation, so I'm using delete. Okay, nothing, it shows nothing. But have you deleted? Okay, you can see only one entry is there with ID 3. Okay, so it got deleted. Okay, so this is how it works. I'm not doing the put part. Well, I can do the put part. Why not? Let's do the put part. This one and this one. I don't put. Okay, what shall I put? Body, headers I have to put. Content type application JSON. Okay, now body part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the whole thing. Okay, and I'm going to do this one. I'm going to paste it. One small thing I will do it. I will change this because I am doing it. Uh, I'm updating one single data. For that you need an ID, don't you? As in you can see during deletion, you of course you need ID. So category /2, you have to give the ID. So similarly, I am giving the for the put also you need an ID. Okay. So category /3. Now what I'm going to do is category, category is for category, but I want to just change it. For example, cat to dog. Okay. And for to default, I'll just set new category. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now you can see the data has got changed. Let me see the categories. This one. Okay. Can see that data has got changed now. Okay. So basically what I've done is input, output, update, delete via web services from a database. Okay. Now we have got web services. Now my thing, my now target is, since is like I'm doing step by step in the evolution model. So I'll make things small, then I'll grow it, then I'll grow it video by video. Okay. So over here, I come to the end where I have achieved web services input delete. What I've achieved is I have done input delete, input, insert, update, delete, and read using web services into the database. Okay. So let's stop over here. Okay then. Thanks guys for listening, and do write into the comments how do you like this, because I would like to understand how are things going. uh, how are you liking? Any questions or anything, you just comment. Let's see uh, what's, I mean, how I can help you guys. Ultimately, these videos I'm doing, yeah, I'm full stack developer, yes, but it's more like I would like to help full stack developers be better. I mean, developers are mostly like single place, but I feel being a full stack means doing the full thing and being able to take the ownership of the full thing. That is what I really like. Okay. So that is what I stop over here for now. Thank you.